In 2002, Ava, a 14-year-old girl from Bridgeport, Connecticut, wakes up in the middle of the night and sees her drug lord father murdered by two masked intruders, before grabbing a shotgun and gunning down the two assailants. 12 years later, after a rough life in recovering from drug and alcohol addiction, Ava marries the affluent Derek Grant in Arlington, the two having met while attending Narcotics Anonymous gatherings. After the ceremony, the newlyweds fly off for their honeymoon to a Caribbean island where Derek's family owns a summer home. One evening, the couple befriends a young local named Manny who invites them to a nightclub, where Ava gets into a violent fight with several patrons following an encounter with local criminal Big Biz. The next morning, Manny invites Ava and Derek to ride El Viudador, the Widowmaker, a mile-long zipline in the rainforest. Once there, Ava, who's afraid of heights, declines to go down the line, but Derek does, and his harness snaps while descending, making him fall to the ground. Ava finds him in the forest, unconscious and severely injured, but alive. Unable to ride in the ambulance with her husband, she eventually reaches the hospital, where staff deny that Derek was brought in. After realizing that none of the island's other clinics and medical facilities has admitted her husband, Ava goes to the police to declare him missing. The police take her to the zip line, but the owner denies being open the day Derek fell and denies that he knows anyone involved. Ava starts to look on her own. Meanwhile, Ava interrogates one man at the zip line, threatening him that she will drop him straight into the forest if he doesn't confess Derek's whereabouts, only to get busted by the cops. After seeing Ava's recent actions on a cell phone recording, Police Chief Garza orders one of his officers to send Ava away from the island via ferry. However, when Ava gets escorted to the women's restroom on the ferry, she breaks the officer's skull and grabs his key before freeing herself. Ava jumps off the ferry and swims back to the island to continue her search for her husband. Later on, outside a cockfighting arena, Ava follows another man, responsible for driving the ambulance that had Derek earlier, into the slums off the street. After a scuffle with the man she was pursuing, Ava knocks him out and interrogates him over Derek's whereabouts at night, only to attract unwanted attention from his brother. Despite all effort of interrogating both of them over Derek's whereabouts, Ava ends up killing one of them, in which gets the police's attention again. This time, at the station, Garza orders two police officers to have Ava locked up in a prison for her crimes on the island. However, at night, Ava sees from inside the police cruiser that the officers are attempting to kill her and bury her in an isolated spot. So Ava breaks her right hand free from her cuffs while unnoticed and suddenly strikes back at the officers, killing both of them. In Garza's house, he gets a phone call only to hear Ava's voice via Santos' cell phone. Garza arms himself with a revolver before heading to his daughter's room, after hearing that Ava requests him to meet her there. As soon as Garza faces Ava again, he sees Ava aiming her gun at his daughter, much to his horror. Fearing for his daughter's life, Garza surrenders his gun and finally confesses to Ava that he was responsible for Derek's disappearance. Although Garza admitted that what he did was wrong, Garza owes the Dr. Elber after he helped save Garza's daughter from this one health problem on the day that she was born, ensuring that Garza will not tell anyone else about his wife's pregnancy. When Ava asks again about her husband's whereabouts, Garza explains that Elber made a mistake about handling Derek's broken bones and punctures his artery. After failing to save Derek, Garza was begged by Elber to lie to the rest of the staff and witnesses that Derek didn't make it to the hospital, as well as attempting to silence Ava, otherwise the American government will terminate his clinic, much to Ava's grief. Feeling bad for what he had done to Ava and Derek, Garza commits suicide off-screen before Ava exits his house, leaving a trail of bloody footprints on the floor. At Manny's house, Ava starts weeping in tears over the fact that she lost her husband. After getting comforted by Manny, Ava rests up before making her final move. In the morning, Ava makes it to the hospital entrance and kills a female attendant with a chokehold before grabbing her ID and hiding her body in the vehicle. Inside the hospital, Ava wraps Elber's face inside a red plastic bag while interrogating over what happened to Derek's body.